On today's show, we'll be discussing CV writing with Lydia Ofori. She's a professional, young professional actually, in the private sector.
As you said, I am also very much involved with Think Coach, and we do help young graduates with their job search in the area of CV writing and also on the interviewing skills. And I believe that is very, very important.
So coming back to CV writing,
Right.
before you even get into the stage of an interview, you have to have a CV.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So what are the essentials?
I feel that a CV is you on paper.
Okay.
Therefore, I'm very passionate, and I always say to people that I speak to that it should be the best representation of yourself.
That's right.
It speaks volumes
Yeah.
about you. And if you think about the person that is looking through the CVs on the other side of the fence, that person is probably looking at hundreds and hundreds of CVs for the same position. So you need to do all that you can to stand out. Exactly so. You need to do your best. So the first thing that I say to people, especially young graduates, is that you need to have structure around your CV. For example, what I mean by structure in this sense is that you have to, you start off your CV with obviously your details at the top, your name, your address, your email address, your telephone number, very, very important. I do not think it's necessary to put your nationality, for example, on the CV.
All right.
I also do not, exactly so, I also do not feel that it's very necessary to put the word CV on top of the CV or curriculum vitae on top of the CV. It just defeats the purpose of what you're doing. So after you've had your details, the personal details at the top, you will want to, if you're a young graduate, you will want to go next onto your educational background.
Okay.
You want to start off with your most recent, course that you did at university. So basically, the period is very important. The time period that you were at the university is very important.
Okay.
You want to state the name of the university. You want to state the grade that you got.
That's very important.
Yeah, very, very important. Yeah, yeah. And coming back onto the grades, even if you've got a third or a 2 whatever, I think it's very important to state it, because if you don't state it, it gives the impression that
you're hiding something.
You're hiding something.
Okay, you have to be really honest on the CV.
Exactly. And then in terms of the modules, you want to pick out the most relevant modules.
Okay.
To the position that you're applying for.
Okay.
So after you finish up with educational background, of course you want to, if you want to list your school education as well.
Okay.
So your college before university level, right?
Okay.
Well, that's what I mean by that. Is I do have a structure that's worked very, very well, and I call that, PAR, P-A-R.
P-A-R.
What is PAR in terms of describing your responsibilities? You want to state, what the purpose of the role is all about.
Okay.
You want to, communicate the action point within that position, responsibility, and you want also to communicate the results that you got.
Okay.
And so essentially, in terms of writing and describing what you've done, is purpose of the role, is action points, and then results.
Okay. So in the case of a salesperson at a cafe, his purpose will be.
So if, for example, you were waiting on tables, you would say that you are responsible for assisting customers, for example, customer service, assisting customers, during the coffee shop opening times. So you would say that because of your excellent customer services, the cafe was able to attract and continually attract more clients or customers through the door.
Fantastic. So how long should a CV be? How many pages?
I'm a fan of keeping things brief and to the point.
Okay.
And so you would say that 2 pages is the maximum.
2 pages.
Matter of fact, when I graduated, I had a 1-page CV, but as you go in and get more roles, it's okay to have 2 pages.
So thank you so much for the information on CV writing. The PAR is phenomenal. Now we have got an interview. What are the 3 do's and 3 don'ts? Actually, let's start with the don'ts. everybody doesn't want to hear what not to do, right? So what are the 3 don'ts that people shouldn't do when they get into an interview? And please feel free to give us scenarios.
Right, okay, I think it's a very good question. I would say the first thing you don't want to do, or the first, place you don't want to find yourself in, is to first being too nervous.
Okay.
Too nervous to the point that, you basically forgotten about what you want to talk about, or you freeze in front of the interviewer, or you start babbling out and then repeat yourself over and over and over again.